Okay, I think I got the measurements right. If I make the frame out of 7/8 and then use the 1/4 inch ply over the top, it should give me the exact thickness that I need. Inch and an eighth right there. It's real close right there. That'll work. What I've done is I've got some pressure treated pine. This is 1 inch thick by 5.5 wide by 6 foot long, and it's going to go ahead and rip a few strips of that to use for my framing material. How I set up my fence is nothing too fancy. I mean, there's a few different ways to do it. I basically just take my tape and I'll measure the distance to the blade. Make sure that it's correct on both sides. Another way to do it is if you have the piece of material that's the exact thickness of what you want to cut, you just lay it across the thickness of the blade and then butt your rake up to it, and that'll give you a pretty precise cut. I want this close, but it's certainly not finished carpentry work. It's just a frame, and I have a little bit of leeway. So we're going to go ahead and try to strip a few pieces of this so we can start the framing. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace. Hey, y'all. Florida Boy back with you. Okay, so I've went ahead and ripped a piece of 7/8 off of this wood, and it measured out pretty good. It's 7/8, just where I need it to be. So now I'm going to go ahead and measure my distance and cut it to length, and then I can mount it. So looks like it's all going to play out pretty good. The other thing I want to mention real quick is just safety. Just whenever you're working with power tools in general, you got to be careful. But with a table saw with an exposed blade like that, I never even plug mine in until I'm ready to hit the switch and start cutting. So just a little tip: you never can be too careful. You want to make sure you keep your hands and your fingers and all that. You're probably going to need them. All right, y'all. Be back with you in a bit. Peace. Hey, y'all. Florida Boy here. Okay, so y'all can see, hopefully get an idea of what I'm kind of doing with the framing here. I ripped these strips with my table saw, and now I'm just kind of framing it in. Basically, it's going to be like this right here. I hope y'all can see that, but anyway, basically that's how it's going to be all the way across. And what I'm going to end up doing is, that's just a test piece right there. I'm going to cut 2 pieces, but I'm going to take the inside of those pieces of 1/4 inch CDX that I'm going to bolt up to the frame, and I'll coat the back side of them with a light 2-part epoxy, just to just to seal them, keep the water and moisture out of them. I won't have to worry about the outside, because that's going to have the diamond plate over the top of them. It's just that back side where water splashes up from underneath and everything. So yeah, just put a real light coat of resin epoxy on there and get them sealed up, and I won't have to worry about them rotting out. Anyway, I think it's going to play out all right. I'm getting ready to cut these brackets off here right now. I'm going to get my die blade, cut these brackets. I'm going to clean this up and paint it, get that done, and just finish my framing, and then we'll be good to go. It's coming along. All right, see y'all later. Peace. All right, I got them ugly pieces of what was left of those pieces of bracket cut off, and now I've just got to get these things cleaned up, and we'll get them cleaned up here and get them painted and make them real pretty before I add the rest of my frame for the lower part of the repair here. So anyway, yeah, we'll get those cleaned up and painted, and then we'll keep moving forward with framing out the lower half of the rear wall. All right, talk to y'all soon. Peace. All right, they're cleaned up, ready for their first coat of paint. Just gonna do a multi-layer. I always like to just put on a light base coat, let it sit up real good. Once it cures, once it's dried, then I'll hit it a few more times. This isn't a show vehicle by any stretch of the imagination, but anytime you're gonna do work, it's best to prep things the best you can. I mean, if you want a good result, you've got to take time, and it's always in the prep, and not one of those guys that really likes the tedious prep work, but if you want things to turn out good, you got to take the time to prep it. So we're going to hit this, put a good base coat on it, let it set up, and that's probably it for today. All right, peace.